The cinematic universe of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit has given us dozens of dangerous creatures, but have you ever wondered who among them possesses the most devastating power on screen? We will not take into account the Eye of Sauron or Gandalf, whose power in the films is more of a spiritual nature. Today, we will evaluate only those monsters that we saw in a real physical embodiment in the film trilogies. Smaug has settled into third place in our ranking. His dimensions in the films are simply astounding. Smaug's length is about 140 meters, and his weight can reach several hundred tons, which is significantly larger than his size in the books, where the dragon's length was about 18 meters. Smaug's scales are incredibly durable, and conventional weapons cannot pierce them. However, they are incapable of regenerating when damaged, which was the reason for Smaug's defeat. Single-handedly, this dragon was able to destroy the greatest dwarf kingdom under the mountain. He burned the city of Dale to the ground and put an entire army to flight. In addition to his incredible physical power, the dragon possesses a high, terrifying intelligence. He is incredibly cunning and treacherous, which is often uncharacteristic of dragons in cinema. His fiery breath is capable of melting stone in seconds, and its temperature, by various estimates, reaches up to 1,600 degrees. Smaug kept the entire north of Middle-earth in fear for many decades. Second place is deservedly occupied by Durin's Bane, better known as the Balrog of Moria. This ancient creature from the movie The Fellowship of the Ring is created from pure flame and deep shadow. The Balrog is a fallen angelic spirit that turned into an underground demon of colossal size. His appearance on the screen forced not only the members of the Fellowship of the Ring to flee, but also the army of orcs that had occupied Moria for a long time. Unlike Smaug, the Balrog is completely invulnerable to cold weapons. Any arrows and blades simply burn up without even touching his skin. He personifies chaos and destruction, capable of burying entire civilizations underground. The dwarves of Moria, being great warriors, could not inflict a single scratch on him and lost an entire kingdom. To stop the Balrog, Gandalf the Grey had to utilize all of his hidden magic, which went beyond the capabilities of any wizards or elves of Middle-earth. Their battle ended with the death of both opponents on the top of the mountain. The Balrog's power is so great that only beings of a higher order, such as Gandalf, can oppose it on equal terms.
Let's move on to the first place of the top, where Sauron is located in his physical body from the prologue of the Fellowship of the Ring. We evaluate him as a giant in heavy black armor, driven by an absolute will to power. In this form, backed by the One Ring, he represented an indestructible battering ram. On the battlefield, at the Emyn Muil, the Bleak Hills, Sauron single-handedly opposed the combined armies of men and elves. With just one swing of his massive mace, he scattered dozens of armored warriors. A powerful aura of terror emanated from him, paralyzing the will of his enemies even before the fight began. The One Ring multiplied his physical performance many times over and granted him boundless dark magic. The High King Elendil and the Elven Lord Gil-galad fell in battle with him in a matter of seconds. Sauron was absolutely invulnerable in a fair duel, and it was impossible to defeat him by force in a direct clash. His defeat was the result of pure chance and a desperate blow by Isildur with a shard of the sword. Summing up, we can say that director Peter Jackson brilliantly conveyed the frightening scale of these three cinematic titans. Each of these monsters became a true decoration of the films and entered the history of cinema forever. Without their destructive power and majestic appearance, Middle-earth would not seem so dangerous. And that is all from me. See you next time.